We got to talk about it though. We got to talk about the Steelers. We got to
Oh,
talk about the Steelers.
we're going to jump to 7. All right.
We got to do it now. You mentioned it. We got
Hey,
to talk
hey,
about it
Pittsburgh
now.
fans, Pittsburgh fans. I love seeing them get Brian Hoyer right now, dog. They getting Brian Hoyer so hard, and they don't know it. Like, this is the thing. They've been so fortunate that they think anything that happens on the football field is good luck.
They don't even know.
They don't even know what's about to happen to them. Like, you know how we get this, like when Joe Flacco emerged, it took us 4 straight weeks for us to be like, this is a good thing. We can accept it. We don't have to think about the possible negative outcomes to this. We can just appreciate it. It took us until the Browns clinched a playoff game for us to be like, oh, yay. Steeler fans get 2 weeks of Mason Rudolph and they're already there, brother. And they don't realize we built up that callus for a reason. Okay? Because we've been Brian Hoyer, Derek Anderson far too many times.
Not Derek Anderson.
Yeah, they getting the original Baker Mayfield. Yeah, the original look. Everything about Derek Anderson screams proto Baker Mayfield, down to the arm strength and the arm talent and the inconsistencies and the interceptions. Like, tell me that's not a similar experience.
Very similar experience, but this is my thing.
Even though Baker Mayfield is more consistent than Derek Anderson is, which isn't saying much, but is saying something.
I mean, it's something for Baker. But this is my issue.
Never had 3 good years.
No, he didn't. He did. Steelers fans need to recognize this, though. And I don't think they recognize this.
Ooh, someone said Maurice Jones-Drew.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a good one.
Maurice Jones-Drew. Yeah, I'm telling you, you could do this with running backs all the time. You would get a bunch that are good. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Steelers fans didn't realize this was the year you were supposed to be bad. Like, this was the year you were supposed to be like, you were supposed to get like 5 wins, 4, something like. This was the year you were supposed to take that step back. So you could get your quarterback, and then you could take your step forward.
Hold it down.
But this is what you've done. They are staring down being 10-7 and still not making the playoffs. And you're not going to be able to get the quarterback that you want. You may have to bring Mason Rudolph back. That may be the reality.
Here's the thing about getting Brian Hoyer. You convince yourself you don't need a quarterback is the problem, right? Because you tell yourself, why would I spend a draft pick on a guy when I can just get me another wide receiver for the guy? Or you do the even worse thing, which, look, when you do it on draft day, all these draft dorks tell you it's a good idea. And I'm just telling you, 20 years of Browns history tells me the shit is overrated. You trade back, you get a bunch of picks, and then you're like, oh, look at all this talent we're going to surround Mason Rudolph with, or Kenny Pickett. Because here's the other nefarious part about this conversation. They have no idea if Kenny Pickett still is any good either. And look, I have an idea of if Kenny Pickett's good or not. They don't. They still think that might work. They think that Mason Rudolph might work. And Mike Tomlin is not a risk taker at that position. They gonna come back here, Cole, and the only dude they about to replace is Mitchell Trubisky. Yes. 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 Yes.
They don't get it.
Yes.
They don't get it. They don't see it. They're about to talk themselves into drafting a QB probably later on.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm telling you. They're going to draft a QB, but it's going to be like in the later rounds, mid rounds, later rounds, something like that.
Nah, you know what they're going to do? They're going to sign a veteran. Because here's the thing. Mitchell Trubisky is only on the team because he's the only quarterback with significant experience. So if you're going to rock with the Mason Kenny Pickett thing, you know who you end up signing, Cole? Josh
Who?
Dobbs. Yep, he's coming back. Josh Dobbs.
The
Or
Pastronaut. The
Mhm.
Pastronaut is back.
And you know you ain't about to get none of that good shit because he know the offense. Like he done burnt all of his not knowing stuff. This is
Oh.
that look, it gets far grimmer than that. It's not even gonna get as grim as, oh, we're gonna draft the quarterback in the 4th round. You might not draft a quarterback at all. And that's even grimmer because you're gonna give Mason Rudolph a shot. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But let's talk about the larger conversation with backup quarterbacks. Greg brought this up while we were planning the show, and it's a great point. How many times this year has a backup quarterback had like a game or two that were good and then became the face of the NFL, basically, like almost immediately, where they're like, oh my God, look at what Josh Dobbs is doing. Josh Dobbs' Linsanity was crazy because that's exactly what it was. It was Linsanity through 2 teams. And both of those teams, by the end of that run, were absolutely sick of Josh Dobbs. Like,
You know
people are
what's
talking about
crazy?
this.
You know what's crazy? Everybody was talking about how much we should have had. We should have kept Josh Dobbs. The Browns should have kept Josh Dobbs. And I was like, have y'all watched him play in Arizona? Because he stinks. He's terrible.
Here's
But
the
he's
thing.
horrible.
Everybody loved Josh Dobbs who did not have to watch Josh Dobbs. Because when I talked to the people who covered the Arizona Cardinals about them starting Clayton Tune, they weren't like, yeah, we traded Josh Dobbs and now we're gonna, I don't know, man. They were like, hey, dog, we started Clayton Tune, baby. They was excited about this. They were excited about this in Arizona. That's how sick of Josh Dobbs shit they were by the end of it. They were like, yeah, let's get rid of him. They were sick of him.
He got
And then
benched for Nick Mullins.
And then Nick Mullins got benched for somebody else. Jared Benton. Like, they don't even consider him. That's how sick Kevin O'Connell is of his. Like, I don't know what it is. I think Josh Dobbs be out there freestyling, dog. I think he'd be like, yeah, now that I know the offense, I'm about to put my own spin on it. Like,
Brother, that's not what we need.
hey, look. You don't get traded by 2 teams because, like, your coach loves you. That's just not what happens here. Kevin got rid of him. Kevin was like, I'd rather have a rookie back up Deshaun.
Hey, remember when Andrew Berry got that 5th round pick and people were mad?
Yeah. But, like, I think people don't understand. Kevin was sick of his shit. That's why he traded him. Because they were probably going to cut him. They were probably going to cut him. They brought in PJ Walker instantly. That's a move of a team that were going to move off of Josh Dobbs. Like, I think people don't understand that about the whole Josh Dobbs. The Browns were going to cut him. They were sick of him. Remember how bad he was in the everybody who went to training camp was like, he looks terrible.
DTR thoroughly outplayed him.
Yeah.
Every opportunity. He outplayed.
But the point is, like, everybody who's had Josh Dobbs has eventually gotten tired of it. Hey, man, remember he started them 2 games against Tennessee? They didn't bring him back. Like, it's not him personally. He's a good dude. It's just something about how he plays football drives your offensive coordinator nuts. But other backup quarterback, remember Jake Browning? Look, the second Jake Browning had that clip come out about they shouldn't have cut me, I was like, oh, they
all
jumped
downhill.
Yeah, they jumped
all
the shark.
downhill from
They
there.
jumped the shark.
All
Yeah,
downhill.
that was the peak. That was the peak of that moment. Like, that was it. You jumped the shark. That was as good as it's ever gonna get with Jake Browning. Because he didn't even play well in that game. Like, he had like a pick 6 in every game he played in. People were telling me he was just as good as Joe Burrow. It's like, come on.
All of Jake Browning starts just reinforced what I've thought about the Bengals this entire time.
Greg, do you have any other backup quarterbacks that we kind of got? Tyler Badgett was one.
Yeah, I think my favorite out of all of these was people were legitimately asking this question of are the Giants going to have to make a tough decision on Daniel Jones's contract because of how Tommy Cutlets is playing?
The tough decision on Daniel Jones' contract came when they gave that motherfucker this contract. They knew they didn't need to give him. They knew they didn't need to give him that. That's the thing that's hilarious about it. People are coming back on it. Was that contract a mistake? Oh, you mean the contract we all acknowledged was a mistake exactly when it happened?
Like, Give that man Saquon's money. Give that man Saquon's money for absolutely no reason.
They didn't even, like, I remember in the press release, it wasn't even like they believed in him. They were like, hey, man, we're going to give him a shot for $40 million. You can't get anybody to explain the Daniel Jones contract in a sense of, well, he earned it and he's good enough to justify it. I've never heard anybody make that argument for Daniel Jones' money. They make the argument of money based on the market. They be talking about Daniel Jones as if you bought a bad stock. They be like, yeah, man, but you have to understand the value of quarterbacks is inflated right now. So you just have to pay that much to have a chance at a guy you knew he stunk and you still bought him at $40 million. That's
you know what's crazy about the Giants? You know what's even crazier about the Giants, though?
What?
Tommy DeVito not even the best backup quarterback on the roster, and people was behind him. Like, that was nuts. That was nuts.
Tyrod. Yes. But here's the thing. Here's the thing called, I think somebody in chat brought this up. You know what I'm most surprised of? It's been a year to backup quarterback. We've been hyping up backup quarterbacks like crazy, and Gardner Minshew ain't getting no love right now. That's nuts to me. They passing up on giving They just tired of Gardner. They tired of the trailer park. They tired of the trailer park stuff. They tired of he drives a car from 19. They done milked that one to the bone, and now when he got a season worth milking, they don't even care. Colts. Like, they don't give a about the Colts right now, dog.
Hey, this reminded me. Colin Cowherd's best take ever. Colin Cowherd's best take ever is when he said Gardner Minshew and Baker Mayfield were the same exact guy. Best take ever. That's his best take ever.
Whatever little piece of a Baker stand is still left in me, that one hurts. Oh, that hurts.
I'm sorry.
That hurts.
I bet you if you pull up their stats right now, you're gonna be like, dang.
Greg, can you do that for us? Can you pull up some of these splits between Gardner Minshew and Baker Mayfield? Because I refuse to believe that they're anywhere near similar. They can't be similar, right? Like,
hey, but guess what? The Colts winning more, and they play better teams.
Yeah. Also, like, where I worry about Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, if this is how far you got with a good Baker year,
ooh, next year is coming too.
I hope that other shoe don't drop, dog. I hope that other shoe don't drop, dog.
You know it's coming.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember trying to avoid these conversations when Gardner Minshew first burst onto the scene. It was during a bad Baker year. I believe it was 2019. And I was like, it's not true. Baker's still the guy.
Colin got that one. He got that one right. I didn't go care. He got that one right.
All right, I got their 2023 passing stats here. So Baker, his completion percentage is 64.4. He's thrown for 3,907 yards. He's averaging 7.3 yards per attempt. He's got 28 touchdowns and 10 picks. And then Gardner Minshew, give me 1 second here.
You got to add the rushing touchdowns with Gardner, too, because he has had like 5 of them, I think.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. This year, give me 1 second. I got all right. His completion percentage for Gardner this year is 62.7. He's thrown 3,164 yards, averaging 6.8 per completion, 15 touchdowns, 9 picks. They both, funny enough, have the exact same longest throw, which is 75 yards. Let me find Gardner's rushing stats real quick.
How many games does Gardner play? Because Anthony Richardson was out there for a little bit.
Like -3 games.
Let's see. This is ESPN is saying 16 games played, but there's no way that's right?
Well, he came in a couple times. So like, yeah, look at games started. So he came in a couple times because remember Anthony Richardson got a concussion early in the year and then he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, let me see how many games he started, and I'll pull up his rushing stats too.
So the little Baker fan in me that still exists. We still thriving, baby. He's still better than Gardner Minshew. He clears Gardner Minshew, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Don't worry.
He's
worry.
the best.
We'll be back.
He's the headband bandit, still undefeated. He's the headband bandit, not Gardner. You know? And look, shout out to Baker. About to walk off like a bandit at the bank. Hopefully, hey, look, don't let him franchise tag you, Baker. That's a trap because then you ain't gonna get no money. Nah,
hey, Baker,
dog.
get your money.
Hey,
Get your money,
4-year
Baker.
deal. 4-year deal. 4-year deal. Take less money to make yourself uncuttable. Like just 4-year deal. Get 20 mil per guaranteed each year, so they can't cut you when you having one of them stankers. Right? No, my bad. 3-year deal. Right? Because it's gonna be bad year the first year. Nope. 4-year deal. Bad year the first year, good year. So 2-year deal or 4-year deal. Even numbers. All right. Keep the money train going. Keep the money train going, bank. Hey, do what Jay Cutler did. You basically him. Is he not Jay Cutler?
He's basically Jay Cutler. He's basically Jay Cutler. I can't lie.
He's Jay Cutler. And what was Jay Cutler at his best when he had Brandon Marshall? What's Baker Mayfield doing right now? He got his Brandon Marshall. When did we forget Jay Cutler existed? Right around the time Brandon Marshall left.
Hey, but since we're talking about year to backup, we got to acknowledge it. Every single backup quarterback on the Browns saved the season.
Yeah, we need to get PJ Walker to the Pro Bowl.
Like, if you really think about it, if you really, really think about it, they needed every single one of the wins they got with their backups. 49ers, we needed that one. The Colts game with PJ, we needed that one for sure.
No, that one made it so that we can clinch the 5 seed this early.
Yeah. And then DTR in Cleveland against the Steelers. Hey, if we lose that game, we might be screwed.
Yeah, they all made pivotal throws in drives in those games to help the Browns get here. So all the Browns backup quarterbacks have been stepping up, especially Joe Flacco. And tell you, man, what I tell you about this Stefanski pantry, it stays fresh. It stays fresh. I wonder who they're going to add to it next year.
Michael Penix,
Jalen Daniels. Hey, I'll be at the Senior Bowl. I'll be at the Senior Bowl with my binoculars, figuring out who we about to steal next. All right.